This video is going to be so hard for me to go through with. It's been, according to YouTube, a month, but 3 weeks since I made my last video, and I know it's like too long. So today I really want to do like a girl talk video, and I'm here. Okay, so this video is going to be very hard for me to kind of like do, but I just feel like a lot of people would benefit from it. Like, they need to hear what I'm going to say. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to deal with not having friends. It's kind of weird. Some of y'all probably like, why wouldn't you have friends? A lot of people don't have friends, and a lot of the people who have friends don't realize that they, like, the people that they're around are not their friends. And so I'm not sure if this would trigger anybody, or like I need to say like a disclaimer, but if this is a very sensitive topic for you, just tread lightly and kind of take in what you can handle. But I do want to say, if you cannot handle the truth, then you may not want to watch this, because we talking facts over here, you know what I'm saying. So like, I kind of wrote some stuff down to help like guide me through the video. Originally what I wanted to do was kind of like a story time, and then alright, I'm just gonna keep going along. Sorry if you guys hear any background noise, like my brother's out there vacuuming me, my mom's out there working, so I guess I'm gonna have to talk loud now. Anyway, so I originally wanted to do like a story time video, like kind of explaining why I'm talking about this subject, because it's real life for me. Like, it's not like just making a video for like, is that a spider? I'm getting distracted. Oh my god. Alright, hold on, almost done. So I guess I'm gonna just talk over the noise so that we can get this done. But I originally wanted to do a story time video, like explaining my situation and what I've gone through, and then coming back and doing this video. But I decided to do this video first, and then like, so what I'm gonna say is, if this video gets 50 likes, then I would do a story time video kind of explaining the situation. Kind of gonna do like some applying in this video, but I'm not gonna tell the whole story as to what's happened or what's going on. So a lot of the times people go through life, and I'm gonna talk about high school, because I'm in my senior year, and I know that there are girls my age who don't have like the guidance, or don't have anybody to talk to about like girl drama or situations, even with people in their family. So we're gonna like center this around people who are my age. So in high school, you meet a lot of people, and meet different people who come from different backgrounds from you, and somehow you create a bond or friendship with people, and it's something that ties you together, and then you become friends. You call yourselves friends. And so a lot of the times through friendships, things happen, like just life happens. And what I've noticed is that people will bring in like personal life situations into something that doesn't. Alright, so like, kind of got interrupted. But so what I'm gonna do is, like, I'm not gonna go into the whole story, but what I'm gonna tell you is that I've recently let go of a lot of people, and who I called friends, and the whole situation was very toxic. And so a lot of the times people would just allow things to happen just to say, oh, I have a friend, or I'm not alone or whatever. But there's a problem when, well, problems occur when you have a big circle or big group of people. It's just gonna happen. So my first point is to do not settle to have friends. You know who you are and what you will and will not tolerate. So if you're in a situation, this could be one person, two people, a group, whatever. You're in a situation where people are doing things that you wouldn't do to them, or people are saying things that you wouldn't say to them, or where you just don't feel comfortable. Don't allow yourself to stay in a situation that's not, isn't right, just so that you can say, oh, I'm not alone, or that I have friends. Like, it's not worth it. And for high school, a lot of the times people do that because they want to feel a part, or they want to, like, they want to have the look of, oh, I'm in this group, or I'm cool or whatever. But it's just not worth it, because that's going to not only damage you, it's going to damage the other person. It's going to damage technically your future, or how you like deal with people in the future. It's just not worth it. And what I wrote under it was, do not tolerate disrespect. So lies, no support, fake vibes. Like, it's not worth it. And a lot of times when you do have a big group of people, all of that stuff kind of comes in. And I really do want to tell y'all what the tea is, or tea, whatever, but I'm not going to do that. Not in this video. So if this video gets 50 likes, y'all can go ahead and have y'all story. I'll tell y'all the story. But the thing that kind of broke me off from not being a part of this particular group, or leaving it or whatever, is just because it was disrespect. And it's just like, if you know that you're not a disrespectful person, and you wouldn't disrespect somebody, especially the person that you call a friend, you shouldn't allow them to disrespect you. It's not worth it. You'll find somebody that's going to respect you and be a true friend. So you holding on to somebody who isn't going to do that, it's just not worth it. It's no point in putting yourself through that. Another point is, everyone has deal breakers. So don't go back on what you believe in just for validation from a human being, because technically that's what we all are, human beings. We're not perfect. We're not God. We're not, above anybody. But if you find yourself around people who don't follow the same standards that you follow, do not allow yourself to stay in that situation, because it's just gonna either build up and then eventually blow up, or it's just going to damage you and just tear you apart. And so what I wrote down is, do not let history be the reason you let toxic people stay in your life. And technically that's what I've done. Like, we all have been there before. And either that's with family, because family could be toxic too, or your friends. And it's not worth it. And a lot of the times people don't realize that they're toxic. Like, they don't realize, like, and then I feel like people just throw around toxic, like, oh, you toxic, or with like, toxic. Like, it's not nothing to joke about. Like, some people have problems that they don't even see. And so calling somebody toxic when they're necessarily probably not even toxic, you have to watch that. So if you know that the situation is just not good for you, that's toxic. If it's destroying you every day, that's toxic. If you're thinking about that every day, it's toxic. That's but don't let, if you've been friends with somebody for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, if they're doing something that's just you can't take anymore, do not allow yourself to stay in the situation. And what I would say is that the people that I've like recently had a thing with, I've known for about 4 years, and not all of them. Like, the ones that I know that were my true friends, I've known for 4 years. I know since freshman year. But sometimes things do not work out. But I'm not gonna allow myself to stay in a situation that is just not, it's not working. And you shouldn't either. And it's very hard. It's very hard. You're gonna think about it for a while, or you're gonna, wish that things could be different, but you only could change what you do, like your actions, your thoughts. You only could change that. The other person, you don't have any control over. And so, a red flag is kind of like big groups, or you're like, say you only have one friend, but that friend decides they're gonna like enter, like allow another person to come in, and they're cool, whatever. But then like you realizing some things, it's not adding up. It's just like, what, like the friend is switching up or whatever, and that's like a red flag, because it's like you don't know whether like they're your friend, still your friend, or that's what I'm saying. My friends are very tricky because, and another thing is like people have different stages of life, and life is very, it's a lesson for each and for every individual, and so everybody has to go with their stage of life. And your friend may be in a different stage of life that you're in, but if you guys can't find that middle ground where to still include each other, still respect each other, still be there for each other, still support each other, then sometimes it just doesn't work out. And so that's what kind of like the situation I found myself in. And so I wrote down a point: you're not supposed to have a big circle where you do not feel comfortable or you can't trust. First of all, you don't even need a circle. If you're friends with one person, for two people, and you can't trust them, you can't talk to them, you can't go to them when you need help, they're not your friend. They're complaining every time you come to them. You're like, girl, I gotta tell you something, I don't really know. And they're like, girl, you always got something to tell me. They're not your friend. It shouldn't be like that. A friend is somebody that you can rely on. And if you're not receiving that same energy you give to them, then it's just not a friend. Another thing I wrote down is that if she folded, it's a no. And what I say is, a lot of times we're gonna go through arguments with, especially with people you know for a long time. You're gonna go through like little disagreements or whatever, but somehow you always come back. But if somebody, you find that somebody's like talking about you, or they're like, oh, I just like, you go through something and it's like a big thing, and then you're like, okay, we'll come back. Then you go through something again, it's a big thing. Like, that's like, it's a trait of like just fake stuff, or like things that just don't add up, then it's a no. Like, let that relationship go. Like, like this would help y'all if like y'all knew my story, but it's just 50 likes. Put it, make sure you like, okay? But so if you know that somebody is like folding on you, and they did something that you just can't forgive, like, or you can't get past, you will never forget, just let that person go. Because especially if it's something bad, like, no. Another thing that I wrote down is like, you need friends that will love you, motivate you, and not judge you. If your friends do not do that, then they are not your friends. I said it before earlier, but I'm restating that because that's very important. Like, I found myself in a situation that's where I felt like I was giving out so much. And let me say this: people have different truths. People see different things in different perspectives. So if you feel like you're giving out so much, and you're doing this and you're doing that, and you're trying to make the relationship work, the other person who you feel like isn't putting in as much effort, but they're still there, but they're just, there, they may think that they're doing the same thing, or they may think that they don't have to do that much. And sometimes people take advantage of that, and so they know that you doing this, you doing that to make the relationship work. And that's what they're, that's what they just chilling with that. Like, they don't have to do nothing because you're doing everything. And so if you feel like you're doing that and they're not, and then you express that to them and they don't take that and do anything with that, they don't put action behind it, they can say words, but they don't put action behind it, you need to let that go, because that's just going to break you in the end. And I found myself in that same situation. And like I said, people look at it through different perspectives. And so even if they like don't feel like you're, some people may feel like, oh, this is just a regular friendship, this is how it's supposed to work. But that's not how that's supposed to work. It's supposed to be give and take on both sides. That's how I think it is. So if I'm loving and supporting you, if you have a problem, I'm like, you pick up the phone to call me, I'm there. You text me, I'm there. I'm giving you words of affirmation. I'm trying to help you. Like, I'm putting you on to certain things. I expect you to do the same. It's not necessarily expectation, but it's what you should do. But if you're like in a committed relationship with a person, and that's what a friendship is, a committed relationship. It doesn't have to be romantical, but it's a romantic. It's a committed relationship, and if you're not trying to put in that work and that effort to make it work, then it's gonna fail. It's not gonna work. And so, yeah. And a lot of the times, like I was told well, no, I was told that I kind of expect too much out of friendship, but no. And don't ever lower your standards. If you expect somebody to pick up the phone when you call, or at least text, like everybody's not going to pick up the phone. But if they text you like, oh, I'm busy, or I'll call you back, okay. If you expect somebody when you're going through something and you express that you're going through something to be there for you, then okay, that's what a friend is. And I feel like some people have not, either they don't know necessarily what a true friend is and they can't act on what they don't know, or they just, some people don't realize it until it's too late. But we're gonna move on. Another thing, believe a person when they showed you who they are the first time. So if you have somebody in your life who has disrespected you, been fake, gone all out to be like, oh, I don't mess with her, but then you find yourself at a middle ground, you're like, okay, we could work it out, y'all work it out, then they do it again. First of all, they shouldn't have done it again, because you should have let them go. And that's another lesson that I had to learn. They did it the first time, I believe you. You want to block people on Instagram? Right, because I'm not, sometimes, and it's over the little stuff. It's not even the big stuff. It's the little stuff. And they do all of that to, like, let you know that it's a problem. Let it go. Let it go right then and there, so that when something, like, you don't even allow for something big to happen. And that's what I did. Like, I let little stuff, little red flags, I just didn't even pay attention to them. And we got to a big situation. And then everything just is like, girl, we told you. Girl, we told you. We waved. You wasn't paying attention. That's what the red flags are saying. So if you like have a little disagreement and they could go all out their way to make sure that you know it's a problem, let it go. Because number one, they're not your friend. Number two, it's just unnecessary, like, drama that you don't even need to deal with. So let that go. And what I would say is, if you're now in a situation where you don't have friends, you're realizing that, you know, people aren't really who they say they are. Just take this time to learn about yourself and do what is best for you. And what you have to realize is that your life is not going to stop just because somebody says they're not your friend. Period. Point blank. Alright? Like, that's what I had to realize. Like, this is a whole big thing. Alright, cool. I'm chilling by myself. But also, it's time to get myself together, focus on what I need to focus on. And that's how you have to take it. Like, your accomplishments, the things that you do in life, are not going to stop because somebody decides they're going to block you on Twitter, block you on Instagram, and say that they're not your friend, or they don't bump with you. Like, it doesn't matter. You know, you're like, what God has for you is for you. And so they can't take that away. That's it. That's all you have to remember. And people are people. Like, they're going to be people. So when you find that one person or two people that are going to be there for you, love and support you, and say, like, act like true friends, you'll know who your true friends are. But if you're in a situation like I am, number one, high school friendships do not last. And if they do, that's very special. But most of them don't. Especially when you, like, get to big clique or a little big group. And it's not just because people, like, don't like each other, but sometimes, like, life happens. You drift apart. And plus college, so, and they say that you find your true friends in college anyway. But especially while in high school, don't let that affect you to the point as to where you find yourself, like, just upset or angry or falling into depression, because it's not worth it, especially not over people. Not over people that aren't, like, life changers. Now, your family, that's a different story, but there are people that you met and you didn't know them before you met them. It'd be okay. Another thing I wrote down is, when God removes certain people, better are coming into your life. And so, just like I said, high school is high school, but college is college. And a lot of times, college friendships last more than high school friendships. So, if you don't have friends in high school, just look forward to having friends in college. Don't hold grudges, let it go. So, like, if this video gets 50 likes, then I'll tell y'all the story. But once y'all know my story, just know that I'm not holding a grudge towards anybody. Like, be mad for what? We have life to live, so much life to live, and life is too short to be mad at somebody. I don't have time to waste my time being mad at you. So I wrote down, like, oh, another thing. Love people from a distance. So a lot of the times, people always kind of, like, come back into your life especially once they realize that they let a good thing go. And it's okay to, because I know that sometimes I do that. I have a soft spot for people, and that's a lot of the times why you let certain behaviors go by, because you have a soft spot for that person. But you have to learn, you can't let that soft spot, you know, blind you of what is reality and what is not. And when that person comes back, because they're gonna come back, you know, love them from a distance. Like, you don't have to be mad at them. You don't have to be, you know, like, oh girl, and don't tell them that you love them from a distance either. Just be cordial with them. Just be like, all right, cool, we good. You know, you don't have to call them a friend. You don't have to call them an associate. You don't have to call them anything. All right, so like, this is my last point, and it kind of sums up everything that I've been saying in this video. So I'm gonna read it. It was like from a post on Instagram. So it's from @millionaire. There are people out there who are hoping, praying, and wishing to find you. People who want to love you. People who want to work with you. People who wish they had a friend like you. People who are aware enough to see the magic in you. All you have to do is create a space in your life and be be your authentic self, so the right people can show up for you. Creating space means stop choosing and chasing unreciprocated love or respect. Never allow anyone to destroy your confidence, damage your self-esteem, mold you into something you are not, or shame you for who you are. Choose people who value you, who understand your worth, who will never make you question how they feel about you. Choose people who choose you. And so, this is the end. I hope you guys kind of learned something and took things from this video that you can apply in your life. If you guys like this kind of girl chat, girl talk, whatever, maybe we could start up a little something. So let me know. Make sure you like this video. So like I said in the beginning, if this video gets 50 likes, then you guys kind of know the background and the story, and I'll give you guys a story time of what has happened with me and why I'm like kind of making this video. But in the meantime, I'll see y'all. Bye guys. Oh, you have a good, lovely day, and I love you guys so much.